Yo, so guys, welcome back to another video. This is another Mr. Nightmare reaction. I feel like this is a different type of video to what he usually does. He usually has like IRL stories or real life stories of like cases that have happened and sometimes messed up things basically. But I was scrolling through his channel and I saw this video, the 10 dumbest decisions in horror movies, and I thought, you know what, this could also be quite a fun reaction. Again, it's a bit different to what I usually do, but we'll just see what it's about. I mean, it's probably going to scare the hell out of me still because I get scared by anything. But yeah, this is going to be interesting because I like you know in movies how sometimes characters will do the most stupid things that you just know no one's doing it. No one's going to end up doing that. Sometimes it will frustrate you or whatever. I guess this will do that for me. I'll probably get a bit annoyed by some of the decisions they make, but we'll just have to see, right? But you're hopefully going to enjoy. Quick shout out to my Instagram and my Twitter, links in the description for those. Same for Patreon, links in the description for those interested. Let's get into this one, man. Let's see the dumbest decisions in horror movies.
Anyone who's watched a horror movie knows one thing. The characters make horrible decisions, but if they made good decisions, odds are we wouldn't have the movie. So here are some horrible decisions made by characters in horror movies. And I hope it goes without warning that there are spoilers ahead. Number 10, Jeepers Creepers checking the pipe. After practically being chased by a terrifying lunatic truck driver in the middle of literal nowhere, our main protagonists, Dari and Trish, spot the shady, sinister-looking character who is driving the truck, depositing what looks like a rolled-up corpse into a pipe at the side of the road. The shady-looking character then quite obviously stares down the two as they drive by, knowing that they witnessed what he had just done.
They better not fucking stop, bro. I swear, if they stop, it's just gonna piss me off, man.
Having to now dispose of the witnesses, the truck driver emerges once again, ramming Dari's car off the road before continuing on down the road. Now, a normal person would just get out of there and report the incident to the first cop they encounter. However, this wouldn't be a horror movie without a horrible idea. Dari decides to go back and check out what was dumped inside the pipe, instead of getting to the nearest phone and calling the police. He ends up falling inside the pipe after getting scared by a couple of rats, and ultimately becomes the creeper's next target. Number 9, Drag Me to Hell, not checking the envelope. At the end of Drag Me to Hell, after Christine had seemingly gotten rid of the cursed button that would send her to hell, Clay, her boyfriend, pulls out a familiar envelope containing none other than the cursed button. It turned out she had mistakenly gotten rid of Clay's envelope containing a quarter instead of the one containing the button. Had Christine simply made the right decision and checked the contents of the envelope first, she would have been freed from the eternal curse.
Oh! What the fuck? What the fuck is going on here?
Number 8, the ending of I Am Legend.
Oh mate, this film.
At the end of I Am Legend,
if this doesn't make you, this fear didn't bring you to if this film didn't bring you to tears when the dog, the dog dies, you're wrong, mate. Because this film did make me tear up a
Robert
little
Neville
bit,
decides to sacrifice himself by putting the antidote into Anna's hand and putting her and her son into a reinforced coal shed before pulling the pin off a grenade and blowing himself up along with the rampaging Darkseekers. What he could have done differently though was just lob the grenade at them and get into the shaft, since it can obviously fit another person, and it would only take 2 steps for Robert to get inside. Number 7, Helen's death. I Know What You Did Last Summer. While on the run for her life from a crazed hook-welding killer, Helen finds herself only a few feet away from freedom, where a marching band and onlookers are seen walking by. But Helen's pointless and foolish decision to turn around and look behind her at the last possible moment instead of running into the crowd of people is nothing short of moronic, and thus it leads to a death that could have been easily avoided.
Why? Oh my god, why? Oh, this is gonna...
Number 6.
You deserve it. That
The Hand Trap, Saw 2.
Oh, this better not show any... Slightly go... I was
Addison's
no.
death is one of the most easily avoided in the entire...
If you're not into gory stuff, please skip this bit, because I know Saw is, yeah,
Saw
it's
series.
nasty.
Inside of a glass box with 2 holes in it is an antidote. If Addison were to walk to the other side of the box, she would have seen a lock with a key sticking out of it, which in turn would have unlocked the box and allowed her to access the antidote without harm.
Wait, what?
If Addison were to walk to the other side of the box, she would have seen a lock with a key sticking out of it, which in turn would have unlocked the box and allowed her to access the antidote without harm. However, she makes the rash decision to put both of her hands inside of the holes, getting herself caught in the blades fitted in the holes. Number 5, not closing the beach in Jaws. After hearing the news of a giant great white shark on the loose near the shore, Mayor Vaughn refuses to close the local beach and safeguard his citizens.
Look, we depend on the summer people here for our very lives.
You are not going to have a summer unless you deal with this problem.
We're not only going to have to close the beach, we're going to have to hire somebody to kill the shark. I mean, we're going to have to tell the Coast Guard.
Mr. Vaughn, you have to contact the shark research.
Deciding tourism income is more important than the actual safety of those tourists, Mayor Vaughn soon learns of the consequences for his greedy mistake. Number 4, The Purge, letting somebody into the house and leaving the safe room. There were so many horrible decisions made in this movie that it would be hard not to include more than one. Firstly, one of, if not the biggest one, was when the son, Charlie, decided to disarm the house security system to allow a stranger into his home on the night of the Purge, when any stranger can rob you, hurt you, or kill you and your entire family and get away with it. Not to mention, this man is also being chased by purgers.
Somebody please, just open the door. They're coming. Somebody please, they're gonna kill me.
This idiotic decision is of course what led to everything afterward in the movie, including the death of Charlie's own father. Another ridiculous decision in the movie was the choice of the entire family to leave the safe room while their house is under attack.
Oh my god.
When a load of maniacs are set to break into your house baying for blood, and you have a perfectly good safe room and a bunch of guns at hand, surely it makes sense to hold up there and blast away whoever so much as breathes near the door. But that would be too logical for a horror movie, so the family splits up, making themselves easier to pick off one by one. Number 3, Halloween Resurrection, trying to unmask Michael Myers. In the beginning of the 8th installment of the franchise, Laurie Strode finally captures Michael Myers. As she gets ready to cut the rope that he's dangling on and end her nightmare forever, she decides to unmask him and see if it's really her brother. She fails to realize that even though he's hanging upside down, his hands are still free.
Oh my days.
Number 2, Scream, Tatum's death. When the Ghostface killer traps Tatum in the garage, she actually manages to put up a good fight for a bit, getting the killer on the ground several times. However, instead of kicking the killer while he's down or looking for something to use as a weapon in the garage, she decides to crawl out a pet door, which is clearly too small for her to fit into.
Oh my god. Oh, this is disgusting. Oh my days.
And number 1, Saw, the Foot Amputation. After being unable to reach the phone with his arm, Dr. Gordon decided his only choice was to sever his foot. Or he could have used the saw to grab it.
Wait, he could have
His only choice was to sever his foot. Or he could have used the saw to grab it.
the saw to grab it? Oh my god. He actually could have when you deep it, couldn't he? What the fuck? And I've seen that saw as well. Don't ask me why I'm a psycho. I never understood how the girls in horror movies would trip on air while they're running. That's the most frustrating thing to me, man. It genuinely pisses me off. I don't even know this video existed when they missed the nightmare. Neither did I, but it was an interesting video, to say the least. Who's watching this in 2021 after Mr. Nightmare made this video public? The overall worst decision in horror movies. Let's go investigate. That's a good point. Who else was randomly recommended this and never knew who made a video of this? Horror movies be like, look, honey, there's a figure in the hallway holding a knife. Let's go towards it. Horror movie logic. They basically walk right into their own deaths, honestly, but still a fun little video. Again, I don't know how this could go down. Hopefully you enjoy this. Maybe I can do more stuff like this in the future. And yeah, until next time, like, subscribe, and peace.